first impression of the big Triumph is that it's comfortable and very easy to ride. Shifting is smooth and flawless. Woohoo! All right, what a fantastic machine. 2017 Thruxton Bonneville. Just look at it. It looks fast just sitting here. And it does pull like a locomotive. Fitting, don't you think? This engine is beautiful. 1200 cc's. It's got tons of torque. You can't keep up shifting it. It's lineal the way the power pulls on this thing. It handles like a dream. And it stops extremely well. I can't say enough about it. And that's my opinion anyway, but hey, let's talk to Chris Ellis of Triumph Motors and see what Chris has to say about this machine.
So Alan, as an iconic brand, launched in 1902 by a British company, I think we all know that. Both you and I are at the gray end of our motorcycling, and I think we all have to understand that today's motorcyclist may have the ability to look at what we like, but they also have their own aspirations. So in order for a motorcycle to appeal to the next generation of motorcycles, it has to be a brand like Triumph. It has to be cool, but it must be authentic. It should be premium, and it must provide a lifestyle experience. And if you can't put all those in the bucket, then you don't have a Triumph, number one, and you likely aren't attracting you and I to ride this motorcycle, or yet the defining new customer.
Oh, that's right on point, Chris. What a good bucket to look at. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell, really, isn't it? I mean, that's what Triumph's all about. And further to that, we're seeing now in the retro scene, like dare I say, a mods and rockers aspect of the younger generation. A lot of the younger generation riders, they are looking for that cafe style, not just in the bike, but in the clothing and the gathering and the get-togethers that are happening. That scene that I lived as a young guy back in the 60s seems to be a scene that younger riders are looking for today. So this fits right into that package.
The rider of yesterday and the rider of today, and obviously as a company we're very interested of the rider of tomorrow. And I think technology plays an extremely important part into expectation. It also gives you the performance that you will expect from the modern motorcycle of today while looking like that perfect retro portrait. The bike itself is designed properly and engineered to handle extremely well, brake extremely well, and have power where you ride the motorcycle. Not necessarily where the rider rides to the power, but the power is where you ride the bike on a day. When you shift, when you brake, when you downshift, when you upshift. These are all designed into the engineering of the motorcycle to give you that unbelievable, that ride. Triumph is all about the ride.
Boy, there's no mistaking the unique sound of this British parallel twin. Wow, I can't believe the engine torque this big 1200cc engine puts out. With tons to spare, even while pulling uphill.
So Alan,
Wow.
what do you think?
You know what? What an absolute beautiful bike to ride.
Yeah. I've ridden the Bonneville and the Thruxton, not the newest one. and they're just fantastic bikes.
Well, you know, Keith, I'm one of the lucky few, I guess, that's still kicking around today that can say I rode an original Thruxton.
And how does that compare? How do you like this compared to the old bike?
Well, you know what, from a riding standpoint, there's really no comparison, because you're talking 60s technology as opposed to, you know, 2017 technology, right?
Fully fuel injected.
But, you know, the excitement was the same. I mean, and the anticipation of what the bike could do, and the performance even back then, you know, was just unbelievable. But this machine here just does everything so well. I just can't believe it, you know. It corners extremely well. You know, it doesn't have any nasty traits that that some of the old trumpets used to have. I say trumpets, that's what we used to call them back then. And, you know,
no surprises in the corners.
They had good frames, but they weren't the best frames, and swing arm bushings weren't always what they were made up to be, you know, and so in the old corner you get a little twitch going in, and you have to be careful of that. But of course there's no comparison. You know, you got great tires on here, and you got Kayaba forks and shocks front and back, fuel injection. You know, the bike just pours the coals on it. It's got a beautiful torque band, right around 3,000. You start putting it down, and it just wants to keep pulling and pulling. You can't keep up the gears, you know, to keep it moving ahead quick enough.
Not that you would ever go over the speed limit.
Oh no, I'm known for being a real pussy down the road when it comes to driving motorcycles.
I can't wait to try out the new one.
Yeah,
this is a really good looking motorcycle.
So you know what, I'm looking forward to putting this beauty through its paces even more, and just really find out what this motorcycle's all about.
And from my point of view, the sound. Oh, it sounds incredible.
Yeah, there's nothing like a twin. Come on, let's face it.
Yes,
you know.
the English have that covered.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what sold us all down the road anyway. I mean, everything was singles back in the 40s and the 50s, and then the twins started taking over. Performance, power, everything was just what the industry then needed to get.
And they've brought that package up into the modern bike, and it still looks great, sounds great, rides great.
Well, you know, it's that people don't really realize that this is actually a water-cooled bike. But if you look at it,
you can't tell.
You can't really tell. I mean, they've kept the old style of the finning, which is still functional apparently. The fins still function. They still have air cooling.
The throttle body carburetor lookalikes.
Yeah, unbelievable. Looks like an old Amel.
Yeah.
You know, and of course they've kept the radiator so thin. I just can't believe it. They've done such a great job on keeping the retro look of this motorcycle, but yet with modern technology and modern functionality. I mean,
are you going to get one?
You know, honestly speaking, I've had some pretty nice bikes in my time. I have an RC51, which, you know, is my track bike now, and of course I've got a Honda Shadow, but I really kind of think this is my swan song bike.
Yes.
The Thruxton. I really think this is the one that I'm going to go to bed with.
You and me both.
Okay, but not for a long time yet.